Welcome back, you cute motherfuckers.
Yes, sir.
It has been 2 weeks since we saw the finale to Attack on Titan,
Hmm.
and this is the Out of Pocket Anime Podcast. We
Yes, sir.
wanted to we wanted to bring this shit back, and we getting into A
Yeah, I couldn't come up with anything this week. I'm sorry, guys. I did my best.
O
I told him in the pre-meeting that I didn't want to do this, and he was like, "Yeah, you'll come up with something."
T.
T's for I fucking told him, and he still didn't listen. This is fucking horse shit. I don't like having to do this. We could have just said AOT. We could have just said AOT, dude.
Well,
What the fuck?
technically, I even said Attack on Titan in the beginning just to fuck with you a little bit.
Yeah, no, I got nothing, man.
Yeah, that's
It's
all right.
hard being
Makes
this
sense.
creative. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm an artist.
No,
All
I
right,
get it. I get it. I get it. You don't do it full time. You have a full time job. You got kids. It's hard to think of what to say when
man.
someone
Fuck
says
them kids,
A
dog.
O T. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 3 letters. Yeah, I get it, man.
Yeah.
It's
But
hard out here for a pimp.
one of the new school big three, man. Attack on Titan. We're revisiting it 2 weeks later.
I mean, can we put it in the new school big three because JJK is slowly
I
working
mean,
its way in there. I
can
mean,
we put
it's not gone on long enough, but it's so good.
Attack on Titan's in a league of its own in regards to the style, though. You know,
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, you
it's
could
just
argue
so
that
unique.
you could argue that for a lot of different animes
Yeah,
during a
name
week
a
in a
lot of
row.
different animes you could argue that for.
You could argue that for what Dragon Ball Z was doing at its time. That wasn't a part of Big Three.
No, not at its
But
time. I'm talking overall in the anime scene and anime like that.
like
Attack
what?
on
Like
Titan was Attack on Titan style of the anime it did was not classic anything. It was
yeah, and
in
by style, are you
a
talking about the art style, or are you talking
shonen,
about the?
seinen, shoujo.
Oh,
The
that's you!
the Jesus Christ!
I
You
was
could
trying to
have
get out
done
the
that
hold
in our
on.
pre-meeting for the last hour.
You're right. I apologize. I can control my sneezes. The whole world knows this about me. I'm sorry. I specifically chose to sneeze in that moment, and I owe you and the fans my deepest apology. I'm
Thank you.
sorry. I can
I
do better.
we accept your apology.
Yeah. It
I
won't be
say
my
that for
last.
I say that for everyone who just had to fucking go, "Oh my Jesus."
Yes, sir.
But the genres. So there's genres of anime, and it's hard to just place Attack on Titan in one because of how
Yeah,
unique it is. So that's what
but
I mean by transcending anime.
so the tricky thing about the genres though, and I don't think you fully because you've brought up like you've started to get into understanding what kind of genre each anime is. I've noticed like when we're doing our pre meetings, you're like, hey, is this a shonen? Is this? Is
It's
this
good
that?
to know.
Yeah, and it is. And that's kind of like how you see things. Like you like to understand that about that and kind of categorize stuff.
I like to
That's
understand
always
everything.
that's always how you've been. Um,
Yeah.
but this is a kind of the anime genres are a little trickier. They don't work
Yeah.
the same way.
No, I get it. It's not
So
exact. It's not
it's
exact because it blends.
well, what it is
The
it's
genres are
more of
very
a
blendy.
target audience
Yeah.
versus like romance. But
But
it's
it's not
stupid because
hold
it,
on. I'm gonna stop you with the target audience because I want to make a point. The target audiences aren't 10 to 20 one genre, 20 to 30 one genre, 30 to 40 one genre. A lot of them are overlapping in regards to who they're trying to
right, and
reach.
that's what I was actually going to get into
Yeah.
before you cut me off.
No,
I was
but
going to
that's
say it's stupid because
why would you preface it that way then?
well, I was getting into the point.
Yeah, but
I'm
you
just saying.
co- you
Can
you
I finish it out?
contradicted yourself prior to what you were going to finish it
I
out.
contradict myself all the fucking time, dude.
You're like,
Get
that's where
used
I
to
was
it.
going.
It's
Bro,
like
that's the
90% of the
opposite.
points I make.
Oh.
90% of the points I make start somewhere and then they end completely somewhere else. I am a walking contradiction. It's what I
Yeah.
do.
So easy to follow what you're going to say.
It's so easy. All you gotta do is
Yeah.
let me finish. No.
Oh, yeah. Your fucking 13-minute speech. Yeah.
Yes, my soliloquy.
Jesus. And then you
Uh,
pause. You're like, "Da-da-da."
that
And then
is
I'm
true.
like,
My
oh,
cadence is
okay.
trash, dude.
And then
My
you're
cadence
like,
is such
dude, let
trash.
me
Yeah.
finish. I'm like, you paused.
You stopped for 30 seconds and didn't say a word. It's funny. So this is my cadence, and this has always been my cadence. And when
It
I was in
has.
college, I was in a communications class. And when I did my speech in front of everybody, I got points off for my pauses because she was like, "You were unprepared."
And it was really you were waiting for a
I was like,
reaction.
"Yeah, dude." I was like, "That's just my cadence because I say such wild shit. I pause in random points to give people time to hop in and out real quick, or to react to the wild shit I'm saying. So when they don't react, it looks like I'm just getting quiet and weird. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean because that's me.
It's weird. It's like, but it's just my cadence. It sucks. I don't like it. I've
Yeah,
been slowly working on it because when you're podcasting, that's trickier,
it
especially for
is.
like you, because just like this last one where
Hello.
you'll fucking hop in. So I've been trying. I've been working. It's gotten better.
It
My pauses
has.
aren't as long.
No, they're
So
not as long as they used to be. You're right.
yeah, so I've gotten better at it, but
Well,
it's
give me a
still
break.
like
I'm trying my best.
still there. But yeah, my point was that my point was going to end at it. I guess it does have overlap because it's like they have, let's say they have like shonen. Well, that's more of a target audience versus a style. So the shonen is like, that like 14 to 18-year-old range that they're aiming for. But you
Mhm.
can have, but they also have the romance genre, and a romance can still be a shonen. That's why it's like it's fucking hard to understand. And that's why like you'll always ask me, and most of the time I'm like, I honestly don't fucking know because I stopped looking at it because it doesn't seem to fucking matter.
Yeah, but it's a fun discussion to have in anime because that's where Attack on Titan is special to me. Whereas it it comes off as a shonen, but it doesn't
It's
necessarily.
deeper,
It's
so it
deeper,
kind of appeals to an older crowd. Is kind of what you're saying.
right? And that's what is so cool about it and so unique about it is that the storyline was more important than the action.
Yeah, and
And in
just so you guys
shonens,
know,
usually the
go ahead.
action is more important.
Yeah, and
And
just so you guys know, like we already did a recap on the final episode and what we thought on it. That was literally 2 hours after. So
yes,
after us
not a
kind
lot
of
of time to
talking
think.
about it and having
Yeah,
more time and watching content on it and stuff like that, we're like, we want to hit this again and really talk about it again now that we've had
yeah.
kind of 2 weeks to digest.
You know what I
Because
like to compare that to? Us recapping it after a certain amount of time.
what?
It's like us having sex. When you have
Oh
sex
Jesus!
the
All
first
right.
time,
Okay. I
it's
don't know
different.
why I thought I was
You know,
expecting something serious.
because of
Like
the way I framed it.
legitimately, yeah, legitimately. I was like, "Oh, this should be a good point." Oh, here we go. All right, yeah, that's this one's on me. I should have known this was coming. Should have
Had to
known this
put
was
one in
happening
there.
like this.
We've been too serious the first 10 minutes. It's just been too
Yeah, that's
serious.
true. That's true. That's true. It has been a little serious. It's been
But
getting
yeah,
real,
so
real,
yeah, you
real,
hit it
real.
once and it's like sudden. It's the first date. You're thinking, why are we doing this so fast? And then you don't really think about it, right? But then the second time you hit,
Terrible
you had some
analogy.
time to think about it. You had some time to realize what she likes, what she doesn't like, what she was telling you during the date, things like that. So it's a little bit more
This is a
sensual.
wild analogy, even
You
for
know what I
me.
mean? So the second
It's a
time
little more
fucking,
sensual.
it's a
What if she
little bit
doesn't
more
like it sensual?
sensual. Of course, she likes it sensual.
Oh, okay. Because
Name
that's
one
what you're
girl
telling her.
you fuck that doesn't like it
I
sensual.
would rather not.
Yeah.
On this podcast, we're gonna just throw her name out there, throw their names out there.
You could say a
I'd
fake
rather not.
name.
I'd
Say a
rather
fake
not.
name.
I'd rather not.
It's just their first name.
No, thank you.
They're not gonna fucking be like, "Hey, did you go to school with Shane?" Wait, hold
Dude,
on.
I don't
Let
know.
me calculate. What was your name?
Yeah,
Oh, because I
no,
watched this anime podcast where you said a girl named
dude.
Cheryl.
If there was a crowd to find that and figure that stuff out, it would be the anime crowd, the weebs out there.
Well, I don't
Those would
think
be the ones to find it. So hard pass. I'm gonna keep that to myself. Thank
I
you.
don't I don't think the girl you mentioned would care if the weeb comes up to him and
Yeah,
says, "Hey." Do you
I
think they
would
would have the
definitely.
balls to do that?
I would definitely get that text message for sure because they
You
all hate me.
motherfucker.
They all hate me. Every single one of them. They
You
all have.
you
There's like a
signed in
support group
what do
out
you
there.
what is those papers you signed for no
Uh,
disclosure?
NDA, no disclosure agreement.
Mhm.
You were right there, buddy.
I was close.
You almost had it.
I was close.
Here,
Too many
take your
acronyms in
sign
anime.
your NDA, take your NDA money, and get out of my house.
Get out of here.
Yeah. but ultimately we really wanted to take the time, and after we've had a few weeks to think about it
Yes.
and kind of read the people's reactions on it, really kind of get into it a little deeper
Yes.
now that we've had time
And
to sit on it.
we didn't talk about what we're gonna bring up for the
No.
second one. This one we wanted to really challenge each other and try to figure
Yeah,
out
cuz
some key elements to
yeah, we
what.
didn't even do a pre-meeting.
No, we didn't. And um it'll be fun. It'll be fun because I actually have some stuff written down. And one of the big things that I noticed watching it again, which did you watch it a second time,
Yeah, I
a
did.
third
I
time?
did.
How many times did you
I
watch it
watched it a
since?
second time. Yeah,
Okay, same
my
here.
memory's a little better than yours.
Yeah. So second time you watched it, I watched it for a second time, and one of the bigger takeaways was the Zeke moments, Zeke Yeager. So those ones, for whatever reason, I'm just casually watching it.
Mhm.
I sharpened in and tried to focus in on those Zeke moments and how much of a role he actually
All
played.
all 3 of them.
Right, because we everyone talks about Aaron, right?
Right.
What
Yeah.
his decision, this, that, why? No one really talks in the anime community about Zeke that much and his importance to that moment. And one of the things I wanted to ask you was,
Jesus. All right.
what do you think made Zeke appear to Armin when he finally woke up in that world? Because he's yelling at his body, right?
Right.
He's yelling at the his body, "Wake up!" He's crying like he normally does, right? He's bitching like he normally does. Wake up!
So, what do I
And
think made the
Zeke
point where Zeke
appears.
snapped out of it?
Well, no, he didn't snap out of it. He's building a fucking sandcastle.
Oh, and then the Zeke appeared. I got what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah,
What do I think happened
to
to make
make him
him
appear.
um
Do you think
to be
anything happened?
I don't
Do you
think
think they
anything
just said, "Fuck it"?
I mean, it obviously had to be something, right? Like it couldn't have just like I think I think Armin just got to him. I think Armin, Armin's always been a person of words and talking things out and trying to reach people through his words.
Yeah, a la
So it
Naruto.
yeah, it makes sense that Armin was the one in there and Armin was the one able to reach him because that's always been his goal is to reach people with his words.
Do you think Levi noticed that in Armin, which is why he chose him over Irwin?
No, because they already addressed that. They already
What did they
addressed why.
address?
When when he was talking about it, he remembered when he was making the choice. He remembered fucking Irvin telling him.
Jesus Christ, Irvin?
Yeah, Irvin telling
Yeah,
him,
Irvin Johnson, Dr. J, yeah.
"I fucking hate you." Um, it's Irwin, right?
Yeah, Irvin
ERWIN.
Johnson, yes. Irwin,
I
it is.
fucking shit, dude. Don't fuck with me like that. All right. So it was Irwin. So Irwin, like he told him, he was like, yo, like when they were on
Well, he
when
grabbed
they
his
were on the
arm,
wall.
so he
No, they were
was
on the
gonna.
wall. They were on the wall. This happened before. They were on the wall, and he was like, he tells him like that's our biggest hope for humanity. That one right there. And he was talking about Armin, who was helping him develop a plan. And so when he was doing that, I think that rushed into his mind, and
I
he
don't
was
think it
like,
did.
when he was deciding,
Uh-huh,
and he was like, that rushed to his mind. He's like, he did say that. Wait a sec. Nope, I don't care. I'm gonna save Irwin. And then the arm grabbed him to
uh-huh,
stop him. And
uh-huh.
then he was like, okay, I'm at peace with this decision. It seems like Irwin wants it. I do remember what he said. Boom.
Nope. Uh-uh. No, I
No,
don't
that's
think
wrong.
that's no, that's wrong.
Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Wrong.
Wrong.
I'm glad I
Wrong.
asked you this open-ended
Wrong.
question with
Wrong. Fake
fake
news.
news.
Wrong. Wrong. I don't agree. I see that reach. I saw you try to grab
There
it.
was no reach
You
there.
missed.
There's
You
no reach
missed.
there. It was a grab.
You leaped up, you tried to dunk it, and then
There
you
was
ended
no
up laying it
leaping.
up.
There's no
You
leaping.
ended up laying it
And
up. You
let's
didn't
not be
dunk it.
twisted. I could fucking yank down the rim,
You
even as
can
short
yank,
as I am.
you can yank down the rim.
I can
Okay.
yank down the rim, even with
All
as
right.
short as I am.
Okay. Yeah. Sure
You
you
couldn't
can.
do that.
You keep believing that in your dreams.
Mhm.
But no, I don't think that happened because you're right. He did have that vision
You don't
of
think
him
that
saying
happened, or
that.
you don't think that's why that happened? Because all
I
that
don't think
happened.
that's why he chose
There you
to
go.
pick Armin.
Pick your
Uh,
words carefully, motherfucker.
so he did have that vision. You're right there. But when he had the vision, he still chose Irwin. Erwin's the fucking reason why he slapped that shit away and he's not red. Because if he didn't slap that shit away, Shane, who's the fucking colossal titan? Erwin.
Yeah.
Because he was gonna fucking stab him. So point being is Erwin saw it in him. And then I think Levi, low key, in the back of his mind was like, this is why I fuck and ride I fuck and ride with Erwin so
I was
much.
like, I don't think you were watching Attack on Titan, my friend. I think you were
Holy.
watching some sort of spinoff.
I'm thinking about titties right now or something,
Yeah,
man.
you were getting deep into the hentai basket, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were on all those XXX
Yeah.
sites.
Consequences.
Consequences. I was just like you,
And
Rodriguez.
you. No, but
Yeah,
I
no,
think
but
part of Irwin played a role in why Armin was chosen, but I think Levi finally became at peace with it once he saw how it unfolded.
in the finale,
Yes, and that's when he's like, "All right, I'm at peace with that decision, and I'm at peace with your final order and me filling it out." Like those two went hand in hand.
see, I do agree with you that that might have put him at peace with his decision.
Uh huh.
But the original question you asked was why he was okay with that decision to begin with.
Why he made the decision, not
Right.
why he
And
was okay
so,
with it.
or
Why
why
he
he
made
made
the
the
decision.
decision. So I do agree that him potentially seeing him in that situation on the final episode
Uh
might
huh.
have played a factor into him like becoming at peace with it. Because I do agree that after he
Yeah.
did it, I do think he regretted it.
Yeah. Well, and
And
thinking
I
back, go ahead.
but I think he only regretted it because of Eren being out of fucking control. I think with Eren being out of control, I think he genuinely would have thought that Erwin would have been the one to keep him under control.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. I can see
Now,
that. I don't
now
know.
I could
I
see
don't know
him
how you would.
thinking that.
What made you think
I
he
don't
would think that?
because he respected him so much. Like there were so many times throughout the show where he was like, ah, what would Erwin do, kind of a thing.
No, but why do you
Um,
think Irwin would have done a better job than
oh,
Armin?
I don't think he would have done a better job at all. But I think Levi thought that
You think Levi thought that
maybe
Irwin?
Erwin would have kept him under
That's what I
control.
mean. Why do you
Yeah,
think Levi would think that?
because he had so much respect for Erwin and his
Yeah, but
strategic mind.
Armin, Levi's not dumb. Armin's best friends with Aaron. Why would he think that Irwin would do a better job with Aaron if Armin is best friends with Aaron? Jesus
Because
Christ!
yeah, you
That
all
was
right? You get
tough.
it figured out.
I'm glad I fucking slowed
You
down.
got the fucking webs and shit. You got the fucking
Yeah.
string and the fucking crazy
Irwin,
eyes going.
Eren, it's a tongue twister. But go ahead.
Yeah. No, I don't. Because he never listened before, and Armin had always been in the picture.
So
Armin had always been in the picture, and he was always out of control. The only
yeah, I
time he
don't
was
know.
somewhat in control is when he was listening, when he was following Erwin's lead, Erwin and Levi.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
all
I
it is
mean,
speculation. We'll never know for sure.
yeah, of
And
course.
I mean, in all
That's why I
honesty,
love the question.
I don't think it
That's why
would
I
have
love the
changed
question.
anything. Like when it comes down to practicality, I
Mhm.
don't think it would have changed a goddamn thing. I think Aaron's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah,
Uh,
no,
which is why I
no,
ride with him. And I still hold to
yeah.
my decision, by the way. You kill 100% of those people.
What it? All right. So that didn't change over the 2 weeks.
Nope, sure didn't.
Okay. Well, good to
Sure didn't.
hear. Good to hear you
Yeah,
care about the people.
I don't.
I
I
know
don't
you.
care.
I know you still hate that baby. Go ahead, let
Yo,
everybody
fuck that
know.
baby, dude. It was such a stupid scene. It was
That was a
fucking
great scene.
overkill.
That was a
It was
great
fucking
scene.
over. I
Fuck this
watched it
baby
again,
hating
dude. When
bitch.
I was watching it the second time, I was like, I know they're not
You
going to,
probably
but I
wanted
need
to
them to
fucking
drop
push
that
the baby
baby.
off. You were
Yeah,
probably like, "Let that baby fall." That's what you were
no,
screaming.
I was like, catch.
Oh hell no! You're sick. You're you're
It
demented.
was overkill. It's a
I can
fake
see.
baby,
I
man.
can see why
What
you
are we
wanted
doing?
100%.
Yeah.
You're like make it 81%. Throw the
Yep.
baby.
Yep.
That's what you were thinking.
We're at 80.9%. Let's go ahead and get that 1% in, guys.
You're the guy in the movie theater when they air this in an actual movie theater in Japan who's just in the very back going, "Yo, throw the
Boo this
baby
man.
off."
Boo this man.
And
Kill
everybody's
that
like,
baby.
"Oh my sir, you need to leave." Yo, fuck that baby, dude.
Was it like that? Have you seen that Jimmy Tatro video? Yo, what's
Yeah,
up with that little
yo,
baby, man? This baby's
that's
looking at
you
me,
right
dog.
now, dude.
Yeah.
The fuck is
Yo,
that
what's up,
baby looking
dude?
at me for, dude?
What's up, dude?
What's up, dude? You got a staring problem, though, man?
Man, whoa, hey, hey. No, he's just a baby, man. Just,
He's just a baby,
just,
dude.
he's just
He's
looking
just
around,
looking at
man.
you, dude.
It's what babies do. They just look around.
That's you. That's you right now. Good
It
lord.
sure is. It sure is.
No.
But yeah, that hasn't changed at all.
So
In
no.
fact, I've gotten stronger in that belief.
So you didn't hyper? Did you hyper focus on anything? Like try to figure something out within it? Like what did you
No,
hyper focus on the second time, or did you just
n-
watch it
no, I
and
just
not even
watched
think?
it. I like turning my mind off when I'm watching it. Like
It's not fun.
not in the sense where it's like I just feel like I'm missing stuff if I'm too busy thinking deep into everything. And so I just take everything in as a whole.
That's the
And
hardest thing
then
to do.
and the problem with that is that the second time like you miss things. It literally you miss things no matter what you do.
Right.
But I
You're
feel like I miss less when I consume it that way. And I know that's just a me thing, but I also think
yeah.
deeper into things than you do. Like I run down rabbit holes.
Yeah, I don't know about
Does that
that.
make sense? I
No.
think differently. I
No,
think is a better way
considering
to
you
put it.
don't run down a
I'm
rabbit hole when you
smarter than
watch
you.
it.
I'm better
I
looking.
mean, you're
I'm
like,
just
this is you.
overall a better human being. Are
This,
you? I dress better. Um, what
this
else?
are you done
Uh,
or finished?
no, I'm faster. I keep forgetting that one.
Yeah,
Uh,
because you're not. That's why you keep forgetting
so all of it's
it.
true. All of
Yeah.
it's true.
So you just explained the way you watch things is I don't really think about things as I watch it, and then afterwards I'm hyper focused and overanalyze everything. That's how
Yeah,
you
yeah.
explain it.
I take it
So how the
all in,
fuck does
and
that
then I
make
have to
sense?
analyze afterwards. I
That
think about what I saw afterwards.
how do you think about it if you weren't really paying attention?
Yeah. Like I take it all in as a whole. Like I don't think deep into things. So when I see something, I'm not like, oh, this happened because of this, and this happened because of this. Like I don't go on a run. I don't go down a rabbit hole when I see something.
So you don't know
Like
what
I
the
take
fuck's
it for
going
what
on.
its face value. I take it for its face value, and if it doesn't come to me immediately, like it just keeps it moving. And then I think about it after I've watched the show, so I can tell you what caught my like thought process afterwards, like what I zeroed in on in the show
That's
when I
weird.
watched it through the second time.
Yeah, when you
And
were done watching it, what did you hyper focus on?
I hyper focused on actually the end credit scene.
Jesus Christ. You're a basic bitch. What did you hyper focus on that for?
I hyper focused on that because I was like, what does that actually mean? Like, what does it really, really mean? Because think about it. So when he goes, the guy goes to the tree, right?
Yeah.
So originally I thought it was the Ymir tree. Keep in mind, I still think it's the Ymir tree.
Mhm.
But I was like, is that where Aaron's grave was? Was that the same tree? And it just happened because Aaron was buried there and because the cycle might repeat itself, it turned into another Ymir tree. And then I thought about the backstory where Ymir, when she got the Titan's powers, when she like got the founder's powers, it was because she was like running and she went into that tree and that whole lore started from the tree. So she didn't start as a Titan, like it had to do with the tree, the connection, and all that stuff. So I was like, is that what this is turning into? Are they symbolizing the Titan cycle starting all over at the beginning, where
See,
this kid's
yeah.
coming in and the Titans aren't back? That's why I got fixated on it.
Yeah,
That's
see,
why I try not to think too deep into things when I'm
yeah.
watching,
I see why you
because
do
that's
that.
how I run.
You're a classic case of I watch too many animes who've been rebooted. That's you're a classic case of that because
I don't
if
think so
you're
at all.
thinking you're still thinking about what could happen next. What could happen next? You're in that JJK mode because as they're releasing videos and episodes, you're hyper focused on all right, well, what's gonna happen now? Because
What does
this
it mean?
happened.
What does
Or
this
what
mean?
does it
What does
mean?
this
What
mean?
does it
Yeah.
mean? All right,
Yeah.
so is this gonna happen now? So does
Yep.
that mean that's gonna happen now? Versus
Yep.
the show's over. Let's focus on from my perspective, let's focus on what the fuck happened and let's analyze how the fuck decisions were made to get to the ending versus
Yeah,
you
that
who was
doesn't
like,
interest me as much.
holy,
Yeah.
that's a tree. Are they gonna, is he gonna walk in
Mhm.
that tree and then is this gonna
Mhm.
happen now? That's a completely different way of thinking. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's catered to by the fact that you've seen a Bleach, you've seen a DBZ that got rebooted again, you've seen like that keep on adding seasons and seasons and seasons, even though it's supposed to have ended already.
Yeah, but I think the only one that I would say that I've watched recently that had like a clear cut ending was Dragon Ball Z. Like Dragon Ball Z had a clear cut ending. So the reboot was like, okay, well, I didn't expect them to have a reboot. But like fucking Bleach, when Bleach ended, I didn't think they were gonna have like I was like, this is how it ends? That doesn't make sense. And I was fucking right. And granted, from what I've heard, the manga's been out and available for Thousand Year Blood War. So it never really truly ended. But, you know, so I guess that like I don't think that part of it plays a factor in it, but I mean it is the way I think, so I could be
Yeah,
fucking
you're
wrong.
you're stuck
Who
in
fucking
the,
knows?
what's gonna happen next mode.
Always. Yeah,
That's
that interests me more than what has already happened.
Well, that sucks for our podcast considering we're talking about what actually happened,
No, it doesn't.
not what's gonna happen.
You suck for this podcast. You can fucking leave,
All right,
sir.
so because
You can
I'm the only
fucking
one who
go.
actually thought about anything,
No,
um,
okay.
let's see here. Why do you think Ymir took Eren over Zeke?
Okay, so let's talk about the future and what that could. No.
Do you think that little kid is Eren's
Yeah.
secret baby from
Why do I think?
Mikasa, who was pregnant
Yeah.
prior to him leaving?
Why do I think that she? Why do I think that she chose Aaron over Zeke? So I
Yes.
have thought about this. So jokes on
Thank
you. I
God.
do think
Thank
about
you,
this shit.
Jesus. He does think about something.
Yeah, no. I think she chose Aaron over Zeke because she saw herself in Aaron. She saw like the pain and like the genuine hurt and pain that she felt when she was alive in him. Like Zeke went through a lot of shit. Like I'm not trying to
Right.
scoff at anything Zeke went through. His life was fucked, but
Right.
it wasn't fucked like Aaron's life was.
Right.
It was a different kind of fucked. And Aaron felt real pain. And so I think she identified with the pain that he felt.
Hmm.
And ideally, his ultimate goal was for no one to go through this again. Now,
Hmm.
Zeke's was too, was like, hey, no one's going to go through this again. But I think the difference in the two plans were so astronomical
Hmm.
that she was like, I understand him more and
Hmm.
I agree with his plan more. So I think they both played a factor.
Yeah.
Why do you not agree with that? Do you think it was something else?
No, I do, but I just think there's so many factors that we can't even process yet just because of how new it is and
Well, think about the
like
future, man.
even that is it's crazy to think about what potentially played a role in either Aaron thinking the way he did and Ymir thinking the way she did because I still think that Ymir was ultimately the one who made the decision
Right.
and that Aaron knew in order for us to still keep Eldians alive, this is the best route to end the Titan bloodline without ending our bloodline. So it was
Gotcha.
more of
Yeah.
like a
Yeah. Yeah.
in order to keep us going, I'm down to get killed. Even though I don't necessarily want 80% dead, I'm down for it because of
Well,
how
yeah,
pissed off I've been.
you gotta pay a toll, right? Like
Yeah.
me and you talked about this because a lot of anime fans, a lot of them are not happy with Attack on Titan ending.
That's the
And
consensus, right?
yeah, and I can understand that. I just disagree with it
I
completely.
disagree wholeheartedly.
100%, I disagree completely.
We
Like, for
both.
one, yeah, and I've not heard one consensus reason. I've heard a lot of different reasons, but one of them is like when we were talking about the other day, where Aaron, he dies. He doesn't get to live out his happiness. Like, dude, yeah, you have to pay a price for killing 81% or 80% of humanity. I don't know where I
Yeah.
got the 81% from.
It's
But
from
oh,
what? The
I wanted
baby.
that baby
You're
dead.
thinking about
That's
the
right.
fucking baby.
In my head, the
You
baby's
baby
dead.
killing bitch.
In my head, the baby's dead. So I went to
You
81%.
subconsciously were thinking about that fucking baby. That's crazy.
Oh shit. But it's like you have to pay that toll. You killed 80% of humanity.
Hmm.
Like there's gotta be a price you have to pay. You can't just walk away from that happy.
Yes.
That wouldn't make any fucking sense at all. That
Yeah.
would be the epiphany of plot armor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and everybody always bitches about characters having plot armor.
Mhm.
But if Eren walked away with 80%, especially like, dude, I was down for Eren dying the second he popped off on Mikasa. Fuck Armin's little bitch boy ass. The second he popped off on her when he was trying to turn her against him, remember when they were at the restaurant
Mhm. Yeah. No, I
and he
remember, and
was talking
Armin
about
got
the
his ass
headaches and
beat.
shit? Yep.
Yeah.
And he was telling her about the headaches and the fucking bloodline, all that shit. And he
Yeah.
fucking fucked her up. I was like,
Yeah.
hey, this nigga can go today and I'm good with it. Like, he
Yeah.
could go right now and I wouldn't shed a fucking tear. Fuck this dude.
Yeah.
But
I
ultimately, you have to pay a
Jesus
price.
Christ. Hurry up, bitch.
Fuck you.
I liked You said the same thing 17 times in a row.
Yeah, well, I think you should have to pay a price when you kill 80%. Like, when you really, really look at it, you think I can't fucking rant? You think I can't fucking gab for another 15 minutes on this? Then you don't fucking know me. So don't you fucking test me, you little
Do,
bitch
do,
boy.
do, 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 do. Jesus Christ.
What
But
is 80%?
30 minutes later. 81%. I liked watching it the second time even more. What about you?
Me too. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I
And
thought it was 10 times better.
I think that's what also solidified why I liked it. So you watch the first
Oh,
time, you could
interesting.
like it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could watch it a second time, and you could be like, "Whoa, maybe I'm tripping." But when you watch it that second time, and you're like, and you like it even more, to
Yeah.
me, I'm like, "Oh, that made it even better. That
So what
increased the
what
show, in my
exactly
opinion."
changed in your head to make it better?
It was clearer. So the first time, and we took a long break from the show, or I did. I took a long break from the show because it hadn't come out. So the
Mhm.
the time frame from the first special to this special was a massive gap, and the only thing I came back to watch was the first part 1, prior to
Okay.
watching the season finale.
Right. Right.
And that, yeah, that helped, but it didn't really pull me as much as like having sat through it and watched it all the time that I did.
Okay.
So watching it that second time, everything was super fresh. It felt like I could follow it easier.
Okay.
Everything lined up well. I fucked with Levi even harder because of I could really hammer in on all that he was doing throughout. They gave Levi a lot of captain esque role.
Yeah.
In
So
previous, hold on, real quick. In
yeah. Yeah.
previous seasons, Levi's always been the badass who fucks people up. But in
Right.
this one, he's like a leader. It was almost
Yeah.
like part of Irwin was in him throughout it.
So on this one, I still agree and disagree with my past opinion on this. So before when we watched it fresh, I was like, hey, you know what? I thought they did Levi dirty. Watching it through the second time, I was like, it was cool to see him step into more of a leader role versus before where he was a warrior. Because
Yes,
and the reason why it was so much cooler is because he had to be that guy. He
because who's
had to
dead?
be because Anji's dead now.
Yes,
So that made it
boom.
so much cooler the second time around.
Yes.
Now, as far as the Zeke fight, I still agree they did him dirty. I still believe that 100% full hardly. I have not wavered on that even a little bit.
Yeah.
He did it the second time. I knew it was coming. It still made me just as bad as the fucking first time.
One change to that finale for you. I want your opinion on this, and I just thought of it. If you wanted that fight between him and the Beast,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
if when you remember when Reiner came down the very first time when they got there on the plane, and he went right after the Beast Titan who was
Who
hanging
was like fucking
and
being
throwing
materialized from the fucking fucking
the
scaly mouth.
bones.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
yeah,
bone hollow or whatever. If Levi jumped out and got him there off rip and started the fight, and then it ended the way it still ended. So everything else stays the same except Levi jumping in and
that would have been so much
spiral,
better. That would have been
spiral
so much
fucking
fucking
him
better.
up, slicing his neck and going, "Let's get it." Even though it
That
wasn't Zeke.
10 times would have been better. So if he right, so in your scenario that you just pitched right now, this
Yes.
motherfucker would have been so blinded with rage that this motherfucker jumps down, fucking scoots through, takes that motherfucker out, realizes it's not him, and gets even fucking madder, but still is like because he's a leader
Still
now, is
does his
calm,
shit.
cool, and collected. He's like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, that wasn't him." But to see him be able to do that shit and
Mhm.
fuck him up like he could have,
Mhm.
I would have been okay with him afterwards finding him and just being like, there's my one opportunity to get him. I'm gonna get him because I just tried to get him. And so I took down the Beast Titan and I took down Zeke. That would have been so much fucking better.
Ooh. And that's a small change. That
One, and
Reiner
it's a change that wouldn't have changed anything
anything except
except
that
everything.
it's a change that
But
would
right?
change except everything. Yeah, that would have been. And I've been told you, and I've like shit talked to you about how I always thought Levi was a thug in that final,
Mhm.
and I still think. But I do agree with you that if that would have happened, and that's the only change I would have made, it would have. It would have been sick. It would
Yeah.
have just
And
elevated it.
I saw your eyes light up when I hit the he would have killed the Beast Titan and
And
Zeke. And you're
yes.
like, "Yeah, fuck
And
yeah."
it makes everyone happy because
Yeah.
I was happy that he killed Zeke. You would have been happy that he killed the Beast fucking Titan because you
Yeah.
understood what that meant.
Yeah, that meant everything.
Because the Beast Titan's the one who killed Irwin.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
it was Zeke,
So
but
so
you
yeah,
know.
so I still stand by that when I went over that the first time. But I do agree with you more so on the everything he evolved into because he had to. And
Yes,
that was cool to see because he's never had to be more than a warrior because there was always
exactly.
Irwin and then there was Anji after
And
that.
then Armin kind of took a
Right, he
big
a bigger role
yeah,
to kind of take him
leader.
from that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like with that being said, like it was cool to see that character development pretty much in 2 episodes.
Yeah.
You
And
know what I
that
mean?
yeah. And that would have made my anger about fucking the Jaw Titan go away completely.
About
Cuz
fucking the Jaw Titan
that was
flying now?
that still that didn't make me feel any better watching it a
No.
second time.
No, I hated it more.
I hated it more as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I noticed that. So I think we've had these conversations a couple of times where we talk about because I rewatch shows a lot.
Right.
And so my opinion never stays the same on the show as a whole. Like I think it's
Mhm.
the first time I watched through Attack on Titan, I loved it. Second time I loved it and realized I fucking hated Armin. I hated him with a fucking passion. First time I watched through Dragon Ball Z, fucking loved everything about it. Gohan was my favorite character. And the second time I watched it, I fucking hated Gohan. He was the worst character. This time watching it through, the first time I was like, yeah, it's good. I enjoyed it. It brought closure to everything. I'm good with this. Like, I'm happy with the ending. The second time watching it through, I was like, Gabi still sucks, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, Gabi still sucks and the dude she fucking likes developed a whole new fucking power.
Yeah, it's and the cool thing though is that they did show the kind of cycle repeating where like all the island was kind of like broken down from war and stuff like that. So the cycle did eventually
Run its
fucking go
course.
through run its course like he said it would. Like he's like you'll have a few years like in your lifetime you'll be happy and there'll be
Yeah.
peace, but it'll slowly go back. And I
Yeah.
think honestly the only thing that would have changed that's why I've doubled down on the 100%. If only the people on the island would have stayed alive, I think they would have. I think it would have been fine. I think society would have changed.
Well, they would have had to. There's only one race left. So,
Exactly.
there's not a lot of options there. It's kind of a
Yeah, kill them
bland
all.
future. Yeah.
Kill them all.
So that was cool. And then I also loved and thought about heavily the abilities of the Attack Titan and the Founder. And I'm trying to fucking
Mm,
pinpoint when the fuck Eren knew what he knew because he would go back in time to when him and Armin were kids and tell him about the future and they were sitting down and I'm like, was that back when they were actually younger? I know they went back to that time and I know that he can travel through time using the founder's power.
mm-hmm.
But did it actually happen as we were watching the show already because he could see the
Gotcha.
future? Does that make sense? So it was like a brain fuck for me
Yeah,
where
and
I'm
so
trying to
the answer
and
from my
erase
understanding,
their mind when it comes to the real.
right? So the answer from my understanding is yes. The whole time from when the show started to when it ended, he had
the ability
he had the ability
and was
because
doing it.
the first episode is the episode where the fucking Titans break through.
Right.
And remember, he was like, I had to be the one to send it towards my mom.
Yes.
So that's the first episode.
Right. And
So
you
that's
don't
actually
see him
something I
sit.
didn't think about before.
And that's the thing where it's like, was he in that time realm as that was happening? And then he sent it just like he did with his dad, where
Yeah, whereas
he's
Zeke.
like, kill him. Yeah, in front of Zeke.
Yeah, do it,
Eren
Dad.
did it.
Do it.
Yeah, he's
He
like,
killed your
did you
comrades. Fucking
remember? Yeah.
yeah, come on, Dad.
So that's what
Fucking
I
kill him,
felt
Daddy.
like he
Come on,
was
Daddy. Kill him,
in
Daddy.
that realm the whole time.
Daddy, kill him.
You're fucking weird. You whispering that shit, you're a psychopath.
Do it. Come on, fucking kill him. You're not happy.
He was
They need to die.
he was touching the
Kill
side
him.
of his head.
Yeah,
Come on.
Dad,
And
I
he's
know you
just
hear
like,
me.
stop it!
Yeah. Then he transformed and fucked that
Yeah.
bitch up.
Wasn't that scene intense? Oh my god.
That was a dope scene.
That was
But yeah,
a dope ass scene.
so I did think it's
That
interesting.
power. And it was only once his dad ate the founder. Because you remember his dad eating the founder was everything.
Yeah, that was everything. But yeah, so he had been. So I didn't pick it up until you just pointed that out on your thought process. But that's
Crazy.
actually really smart how they designed the show to where the first scene that they show us, the first episode, is the start of where his powers start to affect everything that happened.
Yes.
So the whole show is essentially a loop when you think
Yep.
about it that way.
Yeah.
And that's kind of fucking cool.
It's a
That's a
time
really
fuck.
cool way to think about it.
Yeah.
I
and
was surprised. Go ahead.
I was in awe. I was in awe at it, and I loved thinking about whether or not he could manipulate time like Ymir did, right? Ymir
Right.
manipulate time and replay shit over and over again. So when he was with Mikasa in that dream world, I feel like he did actually spend time with her. It's kind of like a genjutsu, like Itachi. You know how you find out later that Itachi put his girlfriend in a genjutsu for a lifetime, just to give her that, honor of. It felt the same way with Eren and Mikasa.
Yeah.
It felt like he did that, and I think he did, in my opinion. In my opinion, they did spend out those 2 to 3 years, and then when it got to that point where he's like, "All right, we gotta go back to real life," and he kind of reversed the time.
Yeah, and I think they get more into that in the manga, from what I've heard. But
yeah, we don't read like that, so
I don't fucking know if that's true or not. So if I'm wrong, fuck you guys. Stop
right,
reading.
guys. We don't read super into this, so that way we could tell you. This is just shooting the shit convo. What we hope, what we think. We're not like fucking like reading the writer's booklet of what he meant by everything. If that makes sense. Like
yeah.
This is all just like us hoping the line
Hoping
is the
that
way
we're
it is, and that we're close to the truth.
Just as two fans who just enjoy watching animes.
Yeah.
And don't fucking have the fucking full day because we both have other responsibilities to fucking read into everything.
Yeah.
You know, and if you do, good to you.
Yeah. No, not knocking it. Just saying
not knocking it at all. Just saying we don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is what it is.
So yeah. Did you always understand that though? Or did it take you a while
understand
to comprehend
what
that? Hit the powers of the Attack Titan and then
the
Founder Titan and
that one
the
I kind of
Warhammer Titan. I know he mentioned that as well.
Yeah, so when everything got explained, that I kind of understood that. Times is a big thing for me. I have a real
good grasp.
A real good grasp and a real pickiness about it. It's almost a frustration in a sense. So because there are so many shows who do it. And the thing about time travel is because it doesn't exist, you set the rules in the show for the way you do time travel. So it's frustrating to me when people don't follow their own rules of time travel. And it's like a peeve of mine. Because it's like, dude, you set up the rules. Like, there are different ways it can work. And honestly, because it's not real, as long as it makes sense, it can work however you explain it. Like, there's no reason for you to not get time travel right. So when time travel starts getting involved into shows, I like am hyper aware, like my spidey senses start tingling and I start paying super close attention to how they explain how it works and stuff like that. And I've done enough on it where I'm like, okay, I understand it when they're going over time things and how it should work. So luckily for me, when they start touching on that, I was like, I got this. Like it didn't take me long to pick up on how it worked and what they're supposed to do. But it was cool that they followed it. And they followed their own guidelines. So they set the rules of how the time travel works in that universe.
Mhm.
and they followed those rules to a T. And that's all you got to do for time travel to work.
Mhm.
The
Yeah, I mean,
problem,
but there's a lot of there is a lot of issue there. There's a lot of, what do you call it, where you fuck up the timelines and it's
where like the
um
time, oh, fuck me.
Jesus.
Yeah, fuck me.
Yeah, that
Where the like the timeline split, and now you have
yeah, and you have like
different
a
timelines and different universes and
fuck, what
different.
is the word for it?
Yeah, there
Fuck.
is a word for it.
Yeah.
I could go while you're thinking about it.
Nah, fuck it. But yeah, there's one other one that I had that I was hyper focused on. And oh yes, the I don't know if you noticed this, but prior to Mikasa actually killing Eren, she had
Mhm.
that mind fuck, and I think w- that was interesting that he made her remember all that shit prior to anyone
Mm,
else remembering shit, right? Because they all remembered it once Eren died. She had
right.
to remember it prior to killing him.
Right, but I don't think he did anything to her because remember she's got the Ackerman bloodline,
Yeah,
so I
but I
think that was
think,
all her.
but she had those flashbacks to
Right.
when she was seeing him.
So are you saying
I'm saying
her seeing
Eren did
him?
that.
Are you saying he did that just by being there and her seeing him triggered that in her because he had the ability to mess with memories and stuff like that, but not hers
Yeah.
because she was Ackerman blood.
No, he
Eh,
did.
No, not
Yeah.
Ackerman's. That's why they're so dangerous. It's
Well, how do you
documented in
think
there.
that he had the time spent with her in the
He
cabin?
he gave her a vision of it, but that had nothing to do with memories. There's no memories
Gave
of
her
that.
a vision
Of what their life would have been like if they did something.
but how could he give her a vision if she's got Ackerman blood?
Yeah, I don't think. Oh, you know what? Hmm. You might be right on this one
Yeah.
because I guess him giving her those memories isn't erasing them.
Right.
So maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe you're right on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right on this one
When
because he can't erase their memories. That I know for sure. That's the whole point of the Ackerman bloodline.
erase whose memories? Ackerman's?
Any Ackermans, yeah,
Oh.
they can't mess with their memories or adjust their memories.
Yeah,
But
I feel like they're
that
part,
doesn't necessarily mean they can't show
but
them
I also
their
feel like they're
memories.
part Eldian, you know? Like I don't think that they're pure Ackerman. I think that they're like a branch of Eldians, which is why the founder Titans
Maybe,
always had an Ackerman with them.
maybe, maybe. I don't think they got into that. That'd be interesting to know
Wasn't that
to
cool
see if that's true.
to see that his uncle was the founding Titan person's right hand man
That was
when they did
interesting.
meet?
Yeah, with Kenny,
Yeah. Yeah, with Kenny.
when
And
Kenny,
you find out that Kenny was like literally
yeah,
best friends with the
yeah,
founder.
yeah. I actually thought the bigger cool thing was finding out like he was the uncle and that whole dynamic, and like his that was
Yeah.
his sister's
I mean, it
kid
made more
and
sense because he was a
the
bounty.
sister situation he was in and
Yeah.
situation he was in and all that stuff. So
I don't
that's where I
know.
kind of stood on that one.
He was a bounty killer, so it made sense that he
Bounty
was
hunter.
Ackerman blood.
Yeah. But I mean, to each their own. Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
have any other thoughts you wanted to go over?
Yes. One last
What you
one,
got? What you got? What you got? What
which
you got?
was um and it is kind of part of why she chose Aaron over Zeke. So we did kind of go over it already. But one of the cool things that Zeke said was that she picked him because she couldn't let Ymir couldn't let go of something. And he equated that to Aaron and why she picked him. So that's where I'm like, is the thing that Aaron couldn't let go of in
Mikasa
and Ymir's thing that she couldn't let go of, was that because
was King
remember,
Fritz.
yes, you remember Aaron had the attack titan, so he knew what was going to happen.
Right.
But I think part of him was still fighting the fact that he had to let her go.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that 100%. I think that was what ended up happening.
And
Yeah.
that made me like that made the ending much more impactful for me personally because I finally kind of like sat with it when I was watching it and I was like, that's got to be it. Whereas the
Okay,
first time I just kind of
I
breezed
picked
right
up
by
on
it.
that the first time.
Yeah, the first time I
Yeah.
kind of breezed right by it, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but I
Yeah,
also
let's
don't
get back
think,
to chopping
you
off the
know,
heads.
yeah, yeah,
Fuck all this storyline shit.
yeah,
When's this baby gonna die? Yeah,
yeah,
that's where I was.
yeah. Because I definitely feel like if Mikasa didn't get that memory before, she wouldn't have done it. She would have tried to
No,
talk to him.
no, yeah, 100%. I think she would have froze. I think you're
Yeah,
right there. I think she definitely would have froze.
yeah.
So I think that was that. I think it was Mikasa, and for Ymir it was King Fritz, and that was kind of the big bond that they had. And honestly, to be it, like when it comes down to it, I think Ymir was just tired. I think she was just tired of carrying on. You
No,
know what I mean?
yeah, no. I think she was tired of not fighting
Nope,
that
nope,
same
nope.
connection.
Wrong again. Guess what? Mama's wrong again.
Yeah, no, mm-mm.
No, not that. But
Yeah.
yeah, do you have anything you want to add before we say goodbye to the people and land the plane?
Levi's a thug. That's all I have to add.
All right.
Top
Well,
five,
you guys
Levi.
heard it first. Levi's a thug. But yeah, overall, like we still like it. I still enjoyed it. The show, one thing we didn't do is we didn't rate the show as a whole in the
Mm-hmm.
last one.
Mm-hmm.
So as a whole, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate the entire show?
A 10. You don't get any better than that for that style of an anime.
Mm, interesting.
You just don't, unless you fucking add the Levi part in where he kills the Beast Titan. Like that's the only argument you could really have
Yeah,
because it creates such a good discussion. Name one other main character that did what Eren did.
Thanos
He's not a main character.
kind of is.
No, he's not. He's a main villain.
A villain can't is not a character. Is that what you're arguing here?
Yeah, you don't understand. It's okay.
You're just dumb. We get
You just you don't
it.
get it.
Yeah, I think I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Okay, so it
I've
could be
I've
better.
it could be better. I very much enjoyed it. I think the biggest mistake they made was the last season. I understand that animes don't come out.
Sheesh.
First off, I understand that animes don't come out year after year after year. No
Thanks.
anime does that. I get it. I'm not mad at it. You got to give animators time to fucking breathe and shit like that and see the
Yeah.
error and all that shit. And
Well,
they're pumping out so many projects.
I don't know.
But that last season, like everything took so long to come out. That last season,
Mhm.
like 10 years for 4 seasons. And the
Yeah.
last season was like 3 of those years.
So wait, are you mad? You gave it an 8 out of 10 because it took too long? Like, what are
I
you
don't
trying
think
to
it
focal
was.
point?
Yeah, so it's a factor into it. So it took too long. I
Okay.
think I think in particular the last season. I think the last season was 3 years worth of waiting for the last season to be completed. So
Okay.
that's number 1. Uh Actually, I think the whole 8 out of 10 is because of the last season. Because I
Okay.
thought they stretched out those when they did that release the episodes
Yeah.
before the last 2 specials. I
Yeah.
think those episodes, I think they weren't that great. I wasn't a fan. There was a couple of them that were good at the beginning, but for the most part, I was not a fan.
Yeah, but
So
they weren't
I
not
give it an 8 out of 10.
they weren't not great because of the plot. They were not great because you didn't like that they extensively went into some people's backgrounds. Like you thought it was too much that they
Hmm.
tried to do instead of
Hmm.
getting right to the point, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
it's not like something where they did it and then you're like that was ass. It was more of like, oh, they just did too much.
yeah, yeah.
Which is
But still
why
an eight
it's
out of
like,
ten
how do you give that an 8 out of 10?
because you're looking at the show as a whole. If I was
Right.
rating just the plot, if
You
you're
could
like,
give,
what's the plot on a scale of 1 to 10? I would say this plot's a 10.
but you're dismissing the first 3 seasons. Like you're completely
No, I'm not.
dismissing
That's
that
why it's an 8.
because you said it's only the last season. What about the
The
other
last
first
season
three?
brought it down from a 10 to an 8. That's
Right.
how much I
That's
dislike those
exactly what I just
episodes.
said, which
Yeah,
is where
that's
it's
how much
like,
I dislike those episodes.
so then
It took me down.
you should say the season 4 is an 8 out of 10, not the series as a whole.
Now, the season 4 was like a 2 out of 10 for me,
Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ.
which is why the whole is an
Wow.
8 out of 10.
Wow.
Except with the exception of the final 2 episodes. I'm not counting those
Wow.
as season 4. Yeah.
You're not counting the final 2 episodes of season 4.
No, those were their own 2 specials. Those
Jesus
were 2
Christ.
movies.
Yeah,
Yep.
you make zero sense.
That's where I stand. But hey, guys,
Makes sense.
We are now up to what is it, 193, 94 subscribers. We're
Yeah.
right around there. We appreciate every single one of you guys.
Mhm.
Please make sure, as always, you like, subscribe, comment
Comment.
below. He's
Comment.
big on the comments.
Comment below, please.
Yeah, he
That
likes talking to
makes
people.
yeah, that makes a bigger, better discussion. It can key in on new content that we could possibly create. So
Hmm.
please comment below. Share your thoughts on the final episode, the
Yes,
series
sir.
finale.
Yeah, what'd you think? Were you part of the majority that hated it, or are you part of the minority that liked it?
Yeah.
Just let us
So
know.
let us know. Comment below.
All
All right,
right, Comedy
Blackie
Hashira,
Chan,
we
we
out.
out.